Talking about your weekend seems easy, but sounding natural is another story. In this English podcast lesson, you'll learn how British people actually talk about their weekends using relaxed, everyday English, not textbook sentences. Welcome to the English Right Now podcast. I'm British English teacher Roy, and joining me in this real conversation in which we teach you at least 10 pieces of related vocabulary is my dear friend Rob. Hello.
Hello. A very good afternoon to you, Roy.
Good afternoon as well. You're giving away our secrets when we're recording.
Or good morning, whatever you prefer.
Good morning, good evening, good night, good Merry Christmas, I don't know. But how are you today?
Very good, very good. I'll give away another secret as well. It's Friday and it's nearly the weekend. I'm very excited. It's the weekend.
TGI Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. There is a ruder one with TFI, isn't there? But have you got that Friday feeling?
Yes. And the interesting thing is, isn't it, that people say they look forward to the weekend, and I do look forward to Friday and Friday evening because it's the weekend. But actually, it's the kind of anticipation of the weekend. The weekend actually turns out to be quite boring, but it's that kind of feeling of it's Friday, it's the weekend. I don't know. It's just
Friday feeling. Friday feeling's that excitement, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you realise that actually, okay, you're not working, which is obviously a pleasure, but there's actually not much going on.
Obviously, some people do work at weekends. We got to establish that. But for most people that work in offices, Monday to Friday. Friday is that special feeling with the weekend. If you do work at the weekend, I think people feel a bit sorry for you somehow. Obviously, some people have Mondays, Tuesdays off, and somehow a lot of people sort of think, "Oh, that's a bit weird." There's nothing wrong with it, but So weekends.
So,
what do you normally do on weekends?
I've got the Friday feeling. I've got the Friday feeling at the moment. Okay.
What are you going to do this evening?
Get a pizza, watch TV,
glass of wine.
Yes, I do like to crack open a bottle of red wine on a Friday night. So that's.
And do you use a straw or a glass?
I do use a glass. So that's Friday, and then Saturday comes. Saturday is usually full of chores, doing jobs around the house. Maybe going to shops, obviously spending time with the family. But unless you have a plan, I find the day just drifts away, and before you know it, it's Saturday night. Then you've got Sunday. Sunday, go for a walk, cook dinner, wash up, and then before you know it, it's Monday morning again.
Isn't it just? Yeah, Sunday evening's that depressing moment where you're like, oh, back to reality tomorrow. It's weird, isn't it? Because we seem to treat this weekend as a kind of break from reality, and work is reality. So back to reality kind of basically means back to work, back to normality.
Back to the routine. Back to a routine, basically, I think.
But it's not like we've broken the routine, is it? I find it really weird. The weekend seems to be this like promised this moment of joy in life, and you're right. It's weird. The weekend does usually fly by, but commonly we would talk about the weekend with our colleagues on Monday. Oh, what'd you do over the weekend?
Yeah.
Commonly, people say nothing much. Nothing much is just sort of, nothing much. Just did a bit of shopping on Saturday and had a quiet one on Sunday. Nothing much is basically saying didn't do much at all. Standard, very British pattern of saying playing it down. And a quiet one just means, again, didn't do much. Quiet one probably stayed at home, watched a bit of TV.
Yes, exactly. And before the weekend, people say, what are you up to this weekend? What are you getting up to? What are your plans for the weekend?
Doing anything nice this weekend? I always like when people are doing anything nice this weekend. Not really. It's the most miserable answer, isn't it? But we commonly play it down as if the weekend is just a recovery period.
Yeah. It is for some people. I mean, some people obviously either they work hard or some people party hard during the week.
Yes.
They're out drinking and clubbing or whatever, and so they use the weekend as a kind of reset to relax. That's not in my case, obviously.
No, obviously you're in nightclubs until 4 a.m. I don't know. I think those days are gone for both of us, to be honest.
I think so. I
You
think
know,
so. People
yeah,
might on Friday they might go to the pub after work, don't they? Friday,
yeah,
you can slightly let your hair down a bit. You don't need to
yeah.
worry about having a hangover on Saturday morning for work. You can
Let your
maybe
hair
stay
down.
out. So,
That's a good
mm,
expression. Let your hair down. It means relax,
mm,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Unwind.
and
Yeah,
just enjoy yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Do you know, I used to go to the pub. I used to go. So wonderful British expression. Are you going out on Friday? Which means usually means going to the pub. Yeah, we're going out. Do you want to go out? Which means have a
Mm.
big night out. Are you going out the weekend? Out. I know it's weird, but these days, gosh, showing our age. These days, there aren't as many nightclubs and things. I think that the culture's changed somewhat, perhaps due to money and prices. But it doesn't seem as common for people to party till 3 in the morning on a Friday.
No, I think
Um,
there's obviously money involved. It's quite costly these days, and people haven't got as much money. So people maybe get some drinks, like and a pizza, and have a night in and watch a movie on TV or something like that, or have some
yeah.
friends round and do something at home. But I mean, we're being very negative here, aren't we? I mean, there are things to do at the weekends. I mean, people
Oh, there's
go.
lots to do, and yeah, you're
Oh,
right. I think usually
yeah,
I'm shattered, very tired, exhausted on a Friday.
yes, I do like to have a lie-in on Saturday.
Ooh,
Stay in bed
what's
a
that?
little
What's a
longer.
lion?
A lie-in is when, you basically stay in bed. You may not necessarily be lying down, but the suggestion is you are lying in bed. So you have a lie-in. So you stay in bed longer than normal.
What is longer than normal for you? What time? What time do you usually get up on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
I guess
Don't know. I
I'm
had to say it like
normally
that.
about 7 o'clock on a weekday. So at the weekends, I mean, I
Well,
might still wake up. The problem is I might still wake up early, but rather than jumping out of bed and getting into action, I might think, no, I'm going to stay in bed for a bit longer, have a cup of tea, listen to the radio, read something, look at my phone,
have an
that
extra
sort of thing.
hour.
Yeah, an extra. So I'm saying about an extra hour, just lazing in bed for a bit, unless there's something to do, of course. Some people,
Yeah.
crazy people, get up and do something like a park run, a 5K run early on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think about it.
Yeah, I do think about it. I do think about
I mean,
it.
it's difficult to have a lie-in when I've got a 7-year-old child.
Yeah, fair
Because
enough.
usually what happens is my son gets up at the crack of dawn, and he comes in and goes, "Oh, Dad, did you hear me get up?" And I go, "Yeah, yes, I did." And he'll say something like, "I'm hungry. I'm
Yeah.
starving," and I'll go, "I'll get up, mate. I'll get up." Even the dog,
That
the dog sleeps in the room with me, and she looks at me like, "Getting up now?" And I'm like,
Yeah, that will change because I've got teenagers, so I'm always up before they are because they like to
"All
the
right."
teenagers like to lie in at the
Yeah.
weekends. But we have other commitments. My son plays football, so there's usually a football
Yeah.
match to go to. Occasionally, I might actually go to a football match and watch my team play. So there's a lot of sporting activities at weekends, aren't there? And if
Yeah.
you're not going out, there's usually jobs around the house, there's DIY repairs to the house, that sort of thing you
Yeah.
need to do. The
Are
ironing's
you good?
probably been building up, domestic chores, all that kind of stuff to do.
Yeah. Are you good at DIY?
No, I'm not.
So it's like DIY bother.
Yeah.
I said that DIY is something that you do to avoid paying professionals, or in my
Yeah.
case, it's something that I do that then I have to pay a professional to repair the damage.
Yes. That's
I
true.
I recently tried to hang a doorbell. It's my first ever time drilling into bricks. Long story short, not going to do it again because
No.
my doorbell is now at an angle. It's
Yeah.
not that bad, but it is a millimeter out, and it annoys me every time I look at it. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have
Best
to get a real.
intention,
Yeah.
but
But I mean, I think I like to make the most of the weekend. I mean, there's a lot
Hmm.
to do. You could have a little weekend getaway. You could go away for the weekend. Maybe to another
yeah.
town. Usually though, Saturdays for us is some kind of family day. We will go to the supermarket maybe for the big shop, which is where
Mm.
we buy the stuff for the week. Although we get it delivered these days because that's how middle-aged I am.
Yeah.
But so we'll maybe go to a park or a town and have a look round. Maybe go to a restaurant for lunch or something.
Mm. Yeah,
it's difficult during
eating
winter, but
eating out's quite a nice treat. Yeah, you can go out for lunch somewhere, go to a cafe, that sort of thing. It's also
yeah,
maybe a good time to visit people, pop round and see somebody you haven't seen for a while, or I might pop round and see my dad who lives down the street here,
yeah.
that sort of thing. Pop round means
Pop
just go,
round is where we. Pop's a good British verb, isn't it? It means go somewhere very quickly, but we often use it to visit someone. I'm just going to pop round and see my dad, or pop round and see my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to make the most of it, which is this expression which means to fill every minute full of joy and kind of really do as much as I can.
Yeah.
I do. I like to take my son out. My son likes going out. He likes to go to places, not so much museums and things like this, but more play areas. Of course, he's 7. Sunday is usually a McDonald's day because he likes his McDonald's. This video was not sponsored by McDonald's, but yeah, but I think it is more family time when you've got kids.
Yeah.
When you're younger, no kids, no responsibility. It's a bit of drinking, bit of going out, bit of friends, bit of socializing. As you get older, it's more about the family.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, in my younger days, yes. I mean, Saturday night was the big night out. Getting ready for Saturday night. Again, probably going to a pub. I didn't actually do much clubbing when I was younger, to be fair, but I did go to a club. You might
once.
Anyway, once. Go and see some friends, have a party, that sort of thing when you were younger. And then as I got older, like to go to the cinema, go to the movies, take in a film, that sort of thing. Or go and visit, just go and visit friends. And you mentioned going away for a weekend, sort of weekend break.
Yeah.
That's a nice treat. And I do find if you go away somewhere else, the weekend feels longer, doesn't it? I don't know if it's because you do more in that time or it's a change of scenery, but a weekend away feels longer.
Yeah. I think yeah, you don't have to go far. You can just go, like in my case, you can go to the other side of the island and have a little weekend getaway. But most people, I think, unless you do something quite an event, like going away, or there's a wedding, or some kind of thing happens that's quite amazing, British people tend to play it down. What did you do at the weekend? Not much to write home about. Not much to write home about. In other words, not much to say, nothing amazing. You can use that expression quite a bit. Oh yeah, how was the film? Not much to write home about. In other words, it wasn't great, wasn't brilliant, it was okay. But we commonly use that, don't we? I find British people play it down.
They do. The usual. What do you do the weekend? Oh, the usual. The usual. Just shopping, that's it.
Caught up with someone. Like catch up with a friend, as you say, is like, meet them and chat with them. I sometimes find that British people, they kind of do this thing. Yeah, we ended up doing something, which means it, ended up doing something. It kind of implies that it wasn't expected. And it was like, yeah, we just ended up doing something. We had no plans, but we ended up doing something. We ended up going to Turkey. Like, what? Yeah, no, just went home on Friday. I thought I might have a quiet one, but we ended up visiting friends in Barcelona. You're like, what? Well, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. I ended up just fixing the shed.
Well, I say conversely, most people going, oh, nothing special. Don't you get annoyed when people go, oh, I had an amazing weekend. It was the best weekend ever, actually. Really good. And you're going, why didn't I do something special?
Next weekend, and you never do. This is probably the underpinning kind of idea behind our friendship, because you're always going away and I'm always like but no, you're right, you're absolutely right. But I think that's a culture point, isn't it? British culture, we expect people to almost play it down, and when we sound like we're bragging, it's quite vulgar. I had the best weekend. Well, that sounds like somebody there, doesn't it? Had the best weekend, the best weekend ever. This kind of and I think it's a bit crude in British culture to be that proud of one's weekend.
Yeah. I know. Keep it to yourself.
I think that proud of anything.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
The other thing that can ruin weekends is the weather, and especially here, it rains a lot. So how was your weekend? Oh, it was a washout.
Yeah.
Rained all weekend,
Rained all weekend, just had to do some chores at home. Didn't get out. Weather was terrible. But then there's a wonderful kind of how do we say? There's a wonderful kind of feeling when we can almost like join in each other's misery.
Yeah.
Because like you
Yeah.
go, oh yeah, tell me about it. It was awful. I love it. Love you
Yeah.
had a terrible weekend. Me too.
Yeah. That's
But
right.
you know, if you got Dave in the office going, oh, I didn't. I went to Barcelona, had a great time. Get lost, Dave.
So, Roy, you asked me about my weekend. What about you? What are you doing this weekend?
Not much. No, I mean, like, you know, my wife might have some plans, some ideas. She might be inviting some friends over. Usually, she just kind of surprises me. I think, and I think you know that there's, you know, probably will end up going to McDonald's at some point. That will be my son's demand for the weekend.
Yeah.
Although I might try and entice him with another place. Probably go to something something child related. He might have a play date with his friends or something like this. So that's the thing. But we often sort of end up with these last minute plans where nothing is planned, and then right at the last minute we go, oh, let's do X, Y, and Z. So I might go to the cinema, but probably, if I'm totally honest, we've just moved into a new house, so we'll probably end up spending hours shopping.
I know that.
My
feeling.
credit card will shake with fear.
Yeah. Yes. I know. I always find that. I mean, it's necessary. I know, to go out shopping and buying things like that, but I also find it's kind of a waste. Well, it's not a waste of time, but I feel I'm wasting my time because it's the weekend. We should be doing something fun, not looking at furniture shops.
I always go into the weekend with the best of intentions. I think that's my thing. I always go and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z this weekend, and then I achieve nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to be spontaneous. There's another word for you: spontaneous. Do something instantly, but
a spur of the moment decision.
Yeah.
Do something on the spur of the moment. So that just that spontaneous thing. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. I think I would love. So we've just bought a new house, as I say, and I've got a designated Lego room. I would love to get that. It's an absolute mess. Everything's in boxes. I would love to get that room up and running this weekend.
Sorry, is your house made out of Lego? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I wish. No, just one room.
The Lego room.
In fact, I'm thinking. No joke. I'm thinking about doing a Lego channel. The whole idea, like on YouTube, maybe at some point, just to spread my love and help other people with it. But yeah, that's my intention. Whether that gets done, probably not. I'll probably end up taking it easy, which means to relax and not stress and try and potter around the house a bit, about, which is do little tasks, little jobs, potter about the garden, potter around the house, use about or around, doing little tasks, and that'll be my weekend. And then I'll see you again next week, and you'll go, "How was your weekend?" I'll go, "Not much to write home about."
But it's funny you mentioned the Lego. You want time to build Lego. That's another thing that you try and get at the weekend is me time. What you call me time.
Oh, a bit of me time.
Time to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
That's a dream, isn't it? I think if you have too much me time, it's depressing because you don't get family time. But you need a bit of me time. I honestly, I feel, my son very much looks to my wife. She's an amazing mother, and she doesn't get. I mean, she's at home at the moment getting a bit of me time for her. But yeah, she doesn't get as much at the weekend, and I often say to her, going to the toilet shouldn't be the only bit of me time you have. But that's the kind of thing. But it's tough. You do try and find a bit of me time, but it's hard, isn't it?
It is. But that's if you're family men like we are.
Yeah.
Obviously,
family men.
If you're on your own, it's I guess like I was in my younger days. You had your whole weekend ahead of you. Obviously, you haven't got the family at home, so you want to go out and do things, meet people, join clubs and things like that, don't you?
You want to. Whether you do it or not is another question. I think that's one of the joys of being married in my case, because my wife goes, "Let's do this, let's do that," and I go, "All right," because I'd possibly just take it easy and spend a weekend at home. I wouldn't get much done anyway. So I enjoy the fact that my wife is always kind of, "Let's do this." It's very proactive with going out and about. So I love that. But yeah, in terms of the weekend, that's usually how we talk about it. Especially, just play it down a bit, don't we?
We do. Yeah.
Have a cup of tea.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's go and enjoy the weekend then, shall we?
Sounds good to me. And on that note, if you do want to support this podcast, please do check out the link below. You could buy a cup of tea for us. But from me today, I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rob, for listening and joining me today. And thank you very much out there for joining us. Oh, no. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Something's gone very wrong at this ending here, but thank you very much. And Rob, I will see you next time.
No, thank you, Roy. Have a great weekend.
I will do. I think I need one. Take care. See you next time. Bye.
See you, man.